Well, while the exhaust pipes are cooling down, we can open the box. It's a nice big heavy box, 2-person lift. Says the side up. It was free shipping. I was very satisfied with the delivery speed and so on. Delivery damage notice. Okay, call for a claim with a Hyundai number. There's no staples, so just pull this up. It's a glue strip that went along, and open it up. And take a look. Wow, that's a lot of room, a lot of space for so small stuff. All right, but that is a big piece there. Okay, that's got to be most of the weight. You can see the L back on that side. What I want is the bolts, because we're going to have to finger tighten, get the bolts through. Put that right up. We're going to need a knife to cut that open though. Get the bolts out, and we're going to go, after they cool down, those things cool down over there, we're going to reach up there and finger thread the bolts in to make sure it's a nice smooth insertion while we put these things up. And you probably need 2 people to lift this guy up. I don't think I could do it by myself, so I have to wait for somebody to come by and give me. So I have the cap that goes in back of it when that's not in, the ball is not in. Got a pin. Okay, I think that and this was free with the order. I did purchase the harness. Okay, that's to plug in. All right, and we got the ball with everything on it. My thing that I'm so used to a smaller receiver because I had the Jeep. I'm hoping that actually fits what's in the box. I think since it's all the same name, this should work out. Okay, don't want to get down there at all, even with the wire harness. I don't want to touch the exhaust pipes and get burnt. So I'm going to wait a while and I'll just unpack everything, get everything laid out. Well, like I said, in the box is one of those, and I cut the tape that was in the back of this, and guess what popped out? Another set. So it's always nice to have another set. Well, you're going to need a knife or scissors to get this thing off, and over here is a sign that says the instructions and everything's inside here. All right, so you just peel this guy back. Here's your instructions. Hopefully some hardware. There is. It feels like screws and stuff in there. All right. And that's what I was looking for. The screws, the bolts. That's what we have to do, kind of finger tight, or just get them inserted into where it's going to be easier when you go screw them down. There's some instructions. Be sure to read all the instructions. That's why you're going to say use 2 people to lift it up too. Well, put the Santa Fe up on ramps, then went in and watched a movie, about an hour and a half, so the exhaust pipes have to be cooled down by now. They must be. I didn't run it that long this morning anyway. This is what's in the package. Have it all laid out. 4 bolts and 4 screws. You're going to need that. And also what you want to do is go on eBay, or if you have a local store that has it, it's PTC 208. Brushes. There's 8 brass mini tube brushes in here. That's what they are. Don't do what I did. Go out and get a 1/2 inch and try fitting into the nut. All right. I have a nut here that fits on those bolts down there. This is what's inside the frame. Okay. Only the ones in the frame are dirty, rusted from being there all this time and not being used. So you need a brush that's going to fit inside. There's 5 of them on here. I only need 1. So I'm going to take it off the ring and go underneath and do that. I'm going to do it to 1, and that way you'll see how to do it. And you want to make sure that you take your fingers and use the bolt to actually go in and come out, okay, to make sure that you should be able to turn it with your fingers. All right, so that's the objective right now. We're going to go under and take care of that now. All right, there's 2 of the holes right there on the outboard side of the passenger side, and there's the same thing on the driver's side, on the outside of the exhaust pipe. You're going to put the brush up inside, and you're going to go around. Try not to bend the arm of it. All right, so you're just pushing it, let it ride up, and you go back and forth. I got my finger inside the hole going back and forth. And make sure you have some eye protection too, if you're right underneath it. So I'm going to basically unscrew it. I'm really hoping that made it good enough. I'm going to just pull it out. There we go. I made the center of it kind of narrow, collapsing it. That's not bad. So I'm going to see if a bolt actually goes in that one now. Let me go get it. I had to use an extension with 11/16 socket and boy did I use some muscle to get in through the threads. It came to the point of I thought I was going to break the bolt off. All right, so definitely got to work on that. Okay, you got to do it to all 4 of them. All right, I keep using a wire brush to keep cleaning out, and pull it back out when you can't move it anymore. Clean it some more, put it back in until you get it. And then by that time, I can't move with my fingers, but I can use it. I can move it with the socket wrench. Hey guys and gals, put some washers inside to make your bolt actually rise high when you're using it. You're going to find it to be really useful. Alrighty, I got all of them in, and I pulled these 2 out. My friend came over and actually tapped this one. The spur in there is gone. He tapped it, and it goes in really nice. So now we're getting ready to raise it. Pulled my harness out just a little bit. Okay, not too worried about that. Got it out. He's going to stick around. We're going to put it up. It's really easy with 2 people. Just put it up, put the bolts in. I'll show you when it's done, and then I'll go ahead and run the harness and get it all in one video. All right. Once you get a friend to help you lightly tighten the bolts down, you can actually put a jack stand in the center to hold it up, and that takes some of the tension off. Okay, then you have to go ahead and tighten the rest of the way down, not too much because you have to torque them. Get yourself a torque wrench from someplace. These have to be set down here on the instructions, 48 foot-pounds. All right, and these are the bolts that I was telling you about that were rusted out on the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and torque them. Don't think I have to show you the video on how to torque stuff. It takes some getting used to it, and go ahead and torque them down to 48. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the cable and zip tie that into place, and the job will be done. Oh, there's my trailer hookup for the electrical side. Okay, and then I zip tied it. Let me get underneath. Okay, I crossed it there. All right, it goes up behind the tire, behind everything. I zip tied it to a bracket right there, and then it has to be above the muffler. There's nothing to tie it there, but you just make sure that it stays off the muffler right there. You can't touch it or you're going to melt the wire. Okay, and there's the opening where it came out of. So I'm probably going to put some rubber sealant or something like that in there to plug it up, or just cut a hole in the thing that actually went in there. I still have that. Now the thing to do now is go up on top and put the plastic piece back, and then probably tie everything up there so it doesn't come down the hole. And after that, you're done. Of course, cut off all the tails of the zip ties too.